Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about updating your WordPress website. Now, it's really important that you keep your site updated after I hand it over to you, or after your web developer hands your site over to you. A lot of people get a bit tense about updates, like it's going to be a big problem. Personally, I haven't had any major problems with updates, and there are ways that you can get around it. So today I'm going to share with you just the basic process of updating, and then in another video I'll just talk to you about backing up your site, because that's a really important thing to do. And if you've got your site backed up and you update it and something goes wrong, it doesn't matter because you still have everything just sitting there the way it was before. So let's just update. It's very easy. You just log into your site as the admin. So there are different ways to do that. The most common way is just to type /admin, and then it will take you to your login. You might have to type up here, see in the browser, /wp-admin. But either way, hopefully you know how to get to a page that looks like this, called your dashboard. I call it the back end. And look, I've got some updates that need to happen. So that's fantastic. So sometimes that's hidden. If you're in like posts, for instance, only dashboard will show and updates won't show. But if you hover, it will pop over there. So let's just go straight to updates. And it will show you 3 different kinds of updates that can happen, right? There's actual WordPress, and it says it was last checked April 11th, which is today. And actually, it was just checked this morning. And it says, I have the latest version. Now, sometimes it says you don't, and that you need to update. And usually it's just a matter of clicking a button that just says update, or, install update. So that one's pretty straightforward. Now, what can happen is, depending on your theme, sometimes if there's a WordPress update, it might take a little while for all the people who have developed the plugins and the themes to catch up and sort of make their adjustments so that their product works with the new WordPress update. So what I recommend sometimes is, sorry, I have to have a little nose blow, that if it's a brand new WordPress update, don't update that one straight away. Whereas the plugins and the themes, I would keep them always most up to date. But WordPress itself can be a bit thingy, particularly for Divi. Like when the new version of WordPress came out and it had a visual builder, there was a lot of discussion in the Divi group about, what are you going to do? And a lot of people saying, well, I'm just not going to upgrade to the new version of WordPress until the Divi crew have sort of sorted it all out at their end. Because if you're really counting on your site for e-commerce or for your bread and butter, for your mainstay of your income and business, if your website's down for a couple of days, you could lose thousands or millions of dollars. I personally don't rest on my website as much for traffic, so I just kind of never feel as worried about my site. But if you are the kind of person who's going to lose a significant chunk of your income because your site is down, then you would take a precaution like that. So that's the first thing you can update. I would just suggest you update it. And some people like, you have to do it every day. I mean, I just do mine every now and then. I'm pretty loose, really. I try not to buy into all the fear and worry. Like once a week is great. Or just whenever you get on. Whenever I get on, I just have a little squiz. Are there any updates? The next thing that you'll get prompted to update is your plugins. So your plugins, it depends on what you've got there. I'll just have a look at my plugins, and this might help trigger your sense of what your plugins do. They usually add a bit of functionality to your site. So, blank slate lets me have a blank page and I put a piece of code on it, and then it acts like a different web page inside my site. Bloom is for pop-ups. Instagram feed plugin. So it's some of these. Jetpack is to do with monitoring visitors to my site. Pixel My Site, that's my Facebook Pixel one. And Yoast is for SEO. So we can see here Yoast, there's a new version of Yoast, and there's a new version of Jetpack. And we would have seen that over here as well, that they're the 2 that are listed here. So normally I just do it from the updates page. You can click this to select them all. Or if you've read something like, don't update the latest version of Yoast, then you can just manually tick the one that you do want to update. But I would suggest that generally the plugins are fine. It's more the interaction with WordPress that's going to be a problem. So if there is a new version of plugins, I suggest having it updated. So you just highlight those clicky boxes and then just press update plugins, and here she goes. Little robot just sorting it out. And then boom, it's just updating that one. It's saying enabling maintenance mode. So, you know, it's better not to really try and do major things while you're updating. Sorry, that's my trumpet. Now you all know me very well. We're getting personal. So, you know, Jetpack's giving us a warning: protect your site before making major changes, back up your theme, plugins, and content with Jetpack. Enable backups. That's basically like buy the premium version of our plugin. And I don't recommend buying into that. What I'm going to do in that other video is show you this really cool thing I just learned the other day about making a backup of your website through your cPanel. It's all going to sound a bit like blah, 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 all right? But I reckon you can do it. I will walk you through. And I think that's the smartest thing to do, is to actually have a backup of your site. And then, you know, if you're going to do updates and you haven't backed up for like 3 or 4 months and you've made some major changes, then hello, just go and back it up. I guess it's done Jetpack. And now it's doing Yoast. So off it goes. You can tell it's working, the spiral, excellent. Okay, show details. There's probably not much to show. I mean, we could click it. I usually just return to the updates page just to check, does my theme need a plugin, an update? Aha, because that's the third thing. Got WordPress, plugins, and then themes. So it turns out my theme does need an update. Now, if there's lots of themes here that need updating, I personally would only recommend updating your current theme and one backup theme. And I would probably delete out all the other themes. Like, you really only need your current theme and a backup theme. Don't clog your website up with lots of stuff. Same with plugins. Like, you only have 5 plugins. Like, I would recommend keeping it really lean. I would not be having so many plugins and themes and junk on there. It slows down your site. That was an aside. So just tick the box and you just press update theme, and again, the robot's just going to do it. Now, some people would say you absolutely have to always keep it backed up and updated. And like I said before, I think that's really more applicable to people who are running a very high earning, large traffic kind of website where they've got lots of people coming, lots of money going through, and a day or two of crash is going to set them back. But in my opinion, I don't know, I have a different risk evaluation sort of level to a lot of people. So I don't freak out about risk the way that other people freak out about risk. If you are a person who is very sensitive to risk, then you would probably invest in having a web developer or someone who looks after your site for you and backs it up and updates it for you regularly. Now, I just talked to one of my clients today. She has someone she pays $300 a year, and they keep her site all backed up and updated, and they ask her not to do her own updates. That's a beautiful arrangement. You can just pay that money and rest assured that your site is safe. If anything ever went wrong with it, those people would be fully accountable for that within the terms of your agreement, and that's a great way to do it. Okay, so now we can return to the updates page. But if you're like me, you're just running your own site, this is really all there is to it. So here we go, we're all up to date. And that's really what you want. You just want, when you come in, you check updates, is there a number there? Ticky the boxes, click update, and it's really that simple. It should be super easy, and I hope that was helpful and you have a great day. I'll see you really soon. Bye.